Leave me a comment. Leave me a comment. Tell me if you can hear me. I see a comment already. Who is this? Let me see. Let me see. Mayday, Mayday. Let's take out the music for a minute. All right, my people, thank you. So, welcome back and welcome to You and I Talk Show. Today we are on Saturday, September 20th. And so I'm going to start in English. And if necessary, we're going to do as usual, where we continue in French and all the way into KinyaRwanda. I'm broadcasting live from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And the topic today, all right, it's open mic. It's open mic, actually. So let me put the link if anybody wants to come and express themselves in the comment. On camera or off camera, that is your choice. Just click the link. Come and prove me wrong. Prove me wrong in the spirit of Charlie Kirk. You know, I'm pretty sure by now, wherever you are, you have heard about Charlie Kirk. Yes, so I'm going to talk about him. And we're going to talk about his legacy. I've been seeing a lot of stuff online. And I think I have my 2 cents on the topic, you know. And one of my 2 cents on the topic is the idea that he actually loved black people. You know, I've been seeing a lot of people post. I posted on Facebook celebrating him. And then when I posted on Facebook celebrating him, people were like, "What? You can't celebrate him, this and that." And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" You know, people started telling me how I shouldn't be celebrating him because he was a racist and all that. And I was like, yo, 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 yo. So, me personally, I did not discover him when he died. So this is what I was actually saying. I think I even posted this in a group on Facebook about Turning Point USA or Turning Point Canada or British Columbia. I'm like, you know, I did not discover the guy when he died. I was actually even following him before he died. And I liked what he had to say, because to me it sounded like the bitter truth that so many people should hear. And in particular, on this episode, the black people, the black community, you know, it sounded like the bitter truth that they should hear. And what is love? What is love? Ooh, what is love? And why I'm saying that Charlie Kirk actually loved black people, and of course he loved all people, is because he told them the truth. You know, the whole idea of telling young men that they have to be responsible, that they have to get married, take care of their family, the absence of the father is devastating the black community. You know, like all those things are things that people should hear, that would actually make us better. You know, I used to follow him. You know, I didn't wait for him to die so that I could dive into what he said. I was actually already following him. So I was even actually surprised that some people had like pushback or don't like him or call him a racist, because I'm like, actually he loved black people, because what is love is the truth. Telling people the truth is part of the definition of love, because otherwise what is love? I wrote about it in my new book, Imana East, Know Thy Divine Rights. And I'm saying that Charlie Kirk was actually living his divine rights. Yo, I even have a t-shirt. He was living, practicing his divine rights. One of those divine rights is the divine right to be a hero, the divine right to rise up and to fight the devil, the divine right to the truth, to be the truth speaker, no matter how much backlash that you get. Yo, I'm saying that he loved America because he was willing to speak the truth that so many people want to hear, and he was actually willing to die for his ideas and his ideals. And it's so symbolic that the last T-shirt that he was wearing is the Freedom T-shirt, and it's precisely this freedom that a lot of people enjoy in the USA, that I love about the USA, right? And so this is why when I see stuff like, who is that girl in Congress, the Somalian girl in Congress, huh? ILHAN Omar, talking about, I'm not even going to put the sound on because, yeah, talking about Charlie Kirk's legacy should be thrown in the dustbin of history. Huh? This is crazy madness, because the concept of freedom, the freedom idea and ideal that he had on this t-shirt is what actually makes, to me, I wrote about America, my views on America as well. This is actually what makes America great. The idea that anybody and everybody can come to America and live in freedom and succeed. And this concept, she's actually benefiting from it, because if she was living in her own country of Somalia, where is Islam, they wouldn't even allow her to show her hair, to be free and covered. As you know, some people may know that the veil actually symbolizes slavery versus freedom. Huh? So everything that she has achieved in America is because of this great country that is going to give you the freedom to do whatever you want and become whatever you want. Things that she would never achieve if she was living in that society where they still don't give freedom to their people, where their people still have to become refugee, such as the country that I also came from, which is the Kagamistan in Rwanda. I have freedom because I'm living in Canada, enjoying the Canadian freedom, the American freedom. So how are you going to be living in other people's country, enjoying the society that they have actually built, which gives you the freedom to become then whatever it is that you have become, and then you're like, that stuff should be thrown into the dustbin. So if we're going to throw into the dustbin even the concept of freedom, where would she be, man? Where would she be? Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. If anybody want to prove me wrong, you're welcome to prove me wrong. Charlie Kirk was a great guy who preached, who was even trying to imitate the Christ concept, you know, the Christ idea. And it's a great example, because the Christ concept actually, unlike in Islam, where you would even get killed for not being part of them, or if you leave their religion, they may even give themselves the permission to kill you. You know, I have the book of Ayan Hirsi, you know, the one of the best Somalians out there, who is not out here spitting on the idea of freedom and spitting on the society that welcomed her in. She speaks about infidel, how in Somalia, even in Saudi Arabia, she also lived in Saudi Arabia, where they actually still see black people as slaves, you know, where the mistreatment of black people in the Arab world, which practices Islam, which is this what this lady is into, and what Ayan Hirsi was born into. There is no freedom. There's no freedom, especially not for women. So to the man who was giving you freedom, and the man who wanted to debate in peace, which is the whole idea and the ideal of the Christ, is this idea of someone who actually convinces you in peace without going to war, without conquering you through the jihad or whatever. As you know, the prophet of the Islam was actually fighting many wars, you know, having wives and even marrying some underage girl. So the concept of Christ is the idea of a man who is conquering in peace through ideas, through love, through the truth. And you wanna put that in the dustbin to replace it with what? People are crazy, man. They can't even be grateful for what they have and what they have received, you know. So I'm asking people to be a little bit grateful, especially us. We have come as here in these societies, USA, Canada, Europe, as refugees coming from all these crazy countries that where people have no freedom, no peace, no truth. You die, you go to jail, or you become a refugee, you live in exile. And then while you're in exile, you get to benefit from all this freedom. And this is actually the point where I said that Charlie loved black people, because he would be telling you that, yo, you can do anything, you can accomplish anything. Don't let the past, the experience, and all the bad things that have actually happened to you, don't let that hold you back. Because today in this country, you have freedom and everybody is equal, and you can pursue whatever you want to pursue. You can become unstoppable because at least at the foundational level, you have this freedom. And I thought that was love, instead of the people who are going to be telling you, oh, you have suffered, you are victims, you know, always be looking at those people who have made you suffer. So your energy is stuck because the creative energy for you, in order to be able to create the future that you want, or a different present, you have to be in peace, you have to be in love, you have to envision your best future, the future you want to create. So if you are not into that mood, because of people who are telling you you have suffered so much, and you always see yourself as the victim, you don't see yourself as someone who can achieve, then how is that any good for you? People who are telling you that are not actually loving you. They don't love you because they want you to be crying and suffering and always looking at the things that you have failed at, or the things that have killed you, enslaved you, colonized you, when you could be looking at, yo, man, despite all those things that have happened, despite the fact that I am a refugee, I came from a war-torn country, massacres, genocide, despite that my people are even more racist than the people that are found in Canada and the USA, because they be having civil wars, the Hutus and the Tutsis, they can't stand each other. You know, I'm so happy I'm so far away from them. I get to live in peace. I appreciate the society that is giving me all the freedom to do whatever I want to do, like have my own show. I had my show on television here in Canada, and I have my freedom of speech. I have my podcast. People have actually been killed in Rwanda and been imprisoned simply for having a podcast where they express their ideas. And then people are going to be here, oh, someone who was willing to debate anybody who opposed them in peace, in joy. He'd be like, yo, you disagree with me? Step forward. The person who disagrees with me is the person that I want to debate. That kind of stuff, you will never see that kind of stuff so far happen where that lady comes from in Somalia or other Islamic countries. Like, how many of them do you see? Oh, you disagree with my way of life, my religion, my way of seeing things, even though it's the religion of peace. Where is the debate on Islam and its principles? Huh? Have you ever seen any of them set up a desk and tell you, okay, if you disagree with me or if you want to debate me, step forward, debate me, disagree with me? No. This is the freedom that you get in America, in democratic countries. And it just so happens that some of these democratic countries that we run to actually happen to be Christian. Oh, I wonder if it's a coincidence or if it's part of why they actually succeed, because they have a different way of seeing life and understanding life, and that way actually gives them this idea of freedom and truth and justice for all and all these things. And this is why they are able to build this society, and this is why we run to their society. Now, how are black people, for example, if she was to run to be a refugee in Saudi Arabia, the heart of her religion? What happened when Ayan Hirsi went to live in Saudi Arabia? My people, read her book. The discrimination against black people, it continues. They still get called slaves. Surely, Black America, as much as you have suffered, you can understand that uh, slavery towards Black people, towards Africans, actually even started with Islam and with the Arabs. And until today, you cannot show me successful Black people in that side of the world. Black people are still so oppressed. So if you're going to be a victim and see only the bad stuff that happened in America, what about the other enslavers who even started slavery before the Europeans started slavery in Africa? But then the European and the Americans ended up abandoning slavery, and now it's free for everybody. But these other places where they even started slavery, they're still into it. Did you see what happened in Libya when, of course, America bombed them? But then what happened? The reaction. They went back into slavery. They went back into oppressing and mistreating, first and foremost, the black people. So Charlie Kirk was always telling America and Black America to see the opportunities, see what you can do, you know, and do it, because now you have the freedom, the law protects you, and you have obviously suffered and went through all that, but you have also made so much advancement. See the benefits of where you are and how much you have advanced, and then continue to be magnificent, my people. And remember that you come from people who built civilizations. So if you see yourself as victims, as people and this is also for Africans, as people who have been enslaved and colonized, we can't advance. But if we see ourselves as people who have only been delayed, only been delayed by challenges and obstacles, but all these challenges and obstacles are here to actually show that we can even survive all that and still accomplish so much and rebuild and build even bigger than ever. And this is why I say that Charlie Kirk loved black people, because he would tell you, he would tell us, don't be in that victim mode, man. See yourself as equal than everybody else and just do what you need to do. Succeed. Succeed. Go forward. Nothing is stopping you. How is that not love, man? All right, my people. That's all I'm going to say on the topic. Thank you very much for being here. I'm going to move into French and speak about Paul Biya's daughter. All right, thank you. Oh, last words about Charlie Kirk, directly to Charlie Kirk himself. Thank you for accomplishing so much in such a short time, because let's remember that he was only 31 years old. 31 years old. So obviously at 31 years old, there was still so much that he could have learned, and there was still so many debates that he could have had. But already in those 31 years old, he had accomplished so much and inspired so many people, and that is so inspiring. So thank you for coming on this planet and accomplishing as much as you did in such a short time, and then bouncing like that, while on stage, while doing what you love, still smiling in peace, still willing to debate all the people, even the most horrible ones, in peace and joy and laughter, and just bombarding everyone with intelligence and truth, and just smiling and giving love to everybody. So thank you for that. It is such a great example of how to be, even towards the people who disagree with you. And this is something that we should keep alive. And this is also something that I really, really admire about him, because I will be sitting here, I will be sitting there just watching him debate all these people and some crazy people, and I will be like, man, I don't even have the patience for this. Like, where does he get the patience to challenge these people, to beat them in their own games, and then to be still happy and smiling? I'm like, yo, I don't even have the patience, man. Like, what? Whew. Never, ever, ever swearing. Never, ever swearing. Like, how? What? Man, yo, that is such an amazing, amazing thing. And then to exit while wearing the Freedom t shirt, distributing. Um, distributing you know hats. That is some great way to exit. So all the best in your next life, all the best in your next life, and keep being such a grand warrior for truth, and keep inspiring the people who need it, all right. So yeah, thank you for having been here for as short as it was. It was very, 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 very impactful, very, very significant. So all the best, and all the best to the family and friends. All the best to the family and friends. And yeah, you know, as you know, in our own philosophy, that I wrote about in my own book, Know Thy Divine Rights, Imana East, Know Thy Divine Rights. um there's no death, somebody just gets called back into the infinite by the creator, Imana, which is why the book is called Imana East. Imana is simply the name of the creator in KinyaRwanda. So Imana East is sort of saying that you're on the side of the creator, Imana, so um Imana simply creates you, and you come through your parents and you do what you have to do, and then when it's your time to be called back, you get called back to go back to Imana, so that you can be assigned greater missions, if you have, depending on what you have accomplished on this planet, and then I also talked about also the concept of justice, and when you die and your heart is going to be weighed on the scales, and it is weighed against the feather of Ma'at, and the feather of Ma'at is the feather of truth. Did you live speaking the truth? Did you live? Did you exist on the side of truth, justice, love for all people? So I'm very confident that when and did you live in peace and joy? And this is the example. This guy was living in peace and joy even in front of the people who hate him. That is uh, practicing your divine rights and living into your Imanaist self, living into your higher self, because really you are living into a much greater concept than yourself. The Christ concept, the Christ principle existed in Africa, in ancient Africa, even before it existed in Europe. I talk about it in this book, of course, and I think this is why that Africans understand so much the idea of Christ and all those things. So uh, Charlie Kirk just got called back into the infinite, just got called back by Imana, and his heart will be weighed against the feather of Ma'at, against the feather of truth, to see if he lived those principles, and then the divine will judge. And I'm just saying that if I was sitting on the judgment board, I would be like, yeah, man, uh, give him his degree. He has graduated from the human level, because the human level is always about fighting, hating each other. If you disagree with people, you never want to see them, you never want to speak to them, you don't even wish them to exist. And the divine level is on this other level, where you understand that we are all children of the supreme being Imana, and we're all related, and we could just coexist in peace and love by through dialogue, and peaceful dialogue, in peace and joy. So he had graduated from the humanist level on to the Imanaist level. He was practicing his divine rights and living as much as he can, as much as he showed us, as someone who understood his divinity, man. And for this, thank you. All right, my people. So let's move into French. All right. Let's move into French.